Well, the Reddit revolution continues this morning, and now it's silver that's taken center stage in the retail investor frenzy. Redditors and Robinhooders sent the metal to a 5-month high today in an effort to engineer, quote, the biggest short in the world. That's fueling a debate over the power of Reddit-inspired speculators. On the phone is Bloomberg Markets reporter Katie Greifeld. Hey, Katie, it's great to have you on the show. The weekend buying binge overwhelmed online seller of silver coins and bars from the U.S. to Australia. Look, the big question I have, Katie, is why silver?
You know, that's a great question, and that's something we've been trying to suss out on our end. But, I mean, if you dig through WallStreetBets, which I don't recommend, but if you do and you try to pinpoint when this started, it seems that there's this theory floating around WallStreetBets that big banks and JP Morgan in particular have a big short bet against silver, that they have this position betting that the metal will fall. And that there's not really any basis in reality for that. I mean, if you really look at the positioning data from the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, for example, money managers actually have a net long position. So there's no basis in fact on that, but that seems to what has motivated this particular pile-on to silver. And so far, I mean, it looks like they are causing the price to move a little bit, which is surprising.
Why is that surprising?
Well, it's surprising because the commodity markets in general and silver and metals markets in particular, they're not really a place where retail traders can easily invest and trade in. You usually have to have a futures account, which aren't really accessible to retail traders. Usually that's you have accredited wealthy investors able to open up futures accounts. But if you look at the exchange-traded fund market, the ETFs, you are seeing the world's largest silver ETF spiking this morning. It was up 9% at one point, and it did see its biggest ever inflow on Friday. So It looks like this band of day traders is targeting ETFs as a way to get access to silver.
So is there any sort of implication here for the broader economy if this army of Redditors goes after silver?
That is a great question. That remains to be seen, whether this will have any ripple effects for the precious metal space and what that means for other macro markets. But I will say, even though the price is moving today, the silver market is vastly different from companies like GameStop and AMC, which have relatively small market caps.
Right.
If you look at the size of the silver market, at current prices, it's about $32 billion is stored in vaults under London. Whereas if you look at GameStop, its market cap was about $1.4 billion in mid-January. So totally different market sizes, totally different impacts.
So, Katie, I wonder if this is the new normal, right? I mean, last week it was GameStop and AMC. This week it's silver. Is there going to be sort of a new flavor of the week for WallStreetBets?
That's what I really want to know. And if you had asked me this question 2 weeks ago when this GameStop phrase really took off, I would have said that this is going to be short-lived. But I think it's outlasted a lot of people's expectations. But it's been one thing I will say is it's fun right now. Everyone seems to be making money. If you look at WallStreetBets, there's a lot of celebration going on. But silver, again, it's a different animal. It's a much bigger, more liquid market. And I would say that if you see this fizzle out and you see people lose money in the silver market, perhaps that would be enough to break the cycle, that people would be reminded that there's also the potential for losses here. It's not always going to be as successful as the GameStop play.
Okay, so bring us up to speed on this Monday morning, Katie, when it comes to sort of everything that happened over the weekend with the fallout, not just from GameStop, but from Robinhood as well. And for Robinhood making the moves late last week to actually restrict some of the trades on its platform.
Right. So this was interesting. And I will say that it wasn't just Robinhood at the beginning. You saw all of these retail brokerages sort of buckle on Thursday, but Robinhood obviously has had the biggest problems. Even after it raised about $1.5 billion in additional capital, it still had problems on Friday and had to restrict trading in 50 stocks by the end of the day. And we do see reports this morning that those restrictions are easing on and there was maybe 8 remaining stocks, but this is going to be an important story to follow, whether Robinhood is able to get back up to speed, shore up its capital requirements. And that really remains to be seen, because if you look this morning, I mean, you have 10 stocks that are up quite a bit. GameStop is one of them. AMC is one of them. So even with this new silver nuance to the Reddit play, you still see all the favorites from last week that caused all those troubles for Robinhood. They're surging again this morning.
Bloomberg's Katie Greifeld. Thanks so much, Katie. Good to see you.